Welcome to Aruba. Aruba is one of the few places on Earth where you can legally walk on pink sand, and it's naturally occurring. While most people associate pink beaches with places like the Bahamas, Aruba's Boca Prince and Cerro Colorado areas have sands tinted by crushed coral and shells, giving off a subtle pink hue at sunrise and sunset. These beaches are also shaped by constant wind and waves, creating otherworldly dunes and cliffs that make it feel like you've landed on another planet. Before we get started, please subscribe to Travel Nation. One destination at a time. Aruba. The island where earth and magic collide. Pink sand beaches you can walk on. Naturally formed wonders unlike artificially tinted sands found in other parts of the world. Aruba's subtle pink beaches are a geological phenomenon. At Cerro Colorado and the Boca Prince area, crushed foraminiferous shells, tiny pink sea creatures with calcium carbonate shells, blend into the sand over centuries. When the golden Caribbean sun hits the shoreline during sunrise or sunset, the grains glow pink and coral red, creating a surreal, shimmering effect. It's not Photoshop, it's nature, raw and untouched. And because these beaches are rarely crowded, it feels like your own Martian paradise. Aruba lies outside the hurricane belt. The Caribbean's hidden secret. Aruba's location is an atmospheric miracle. Sitting just south of the hurricane belt, it avoids nearly all major tropical storms and hurricanes. This rare positioning has helped preserve its coral reefs, desert landscapes, and ancient caves. While other islands endure seasonal devastation, Aruba enjoys 320 days of sun a year. Locals call it the island of eternal summer, and it's not a myth. It's a climate anomaly that's made Aruba a year-round sanctuary for travelers, retirees, and marine life. Desert meets ocean. A surreal clash of landscapes. Aruba defies traditional Caribbean imagery. Instead of lush rainforests, Aruba offers towering cacti, dusty windswept plateaus, and rock formations that look like ancient sculptures carved by time. In Arikok National Park, you'll see cacti taller than people growing next to crashing turquoise waves. It's one of the only places in the Caribbean where desert meets sea, creating a visual paradox that feels like both the Wild West and a tropical oasis. The island's desert was once ocean floor. Fossils in the rocks still tell the story. The caves are whispering, and they're covered in centuries-old art. Deep within Arikok National Park lies Aruba's Fontaine and Quadirikiri caves, filled with Arawak petroglyphs dating back over 1,000 years. These are the sacred writings of Aruba's earliest inhabitants, etched into limestone ceilings by firelight. Inside the caves, bats silently hang above, and the air hums with mystery. Light filters through natural vents in the ceilings, casting eerie rays that seem to animate the symbols. Some researchers believe these caves were not just shelters, but ritual sites, used for communion with spirits or astronomical observation. Flamingos, but not where you think. While Instagram shows Aruba's flamingos on private Renaissance Island, the truth is stranger. Flamingos were never native to Aruba. They were introduced by humans, but have since formed stable micropopulations, adapted to the briny waters, and now walk freely among visitors. Their appearance isn't just for show. They've become an iconic symbol of Aruba, but their survival here shows how animals can adapt and thrive in human-altered ecosystems, blurring the line between the wild and the artificial. The divi-divi tree, nature's compass that always points west. Aruba's signature divi-divi tree, Watapana, doesn't grow straight. Bent by relentless trade winds over generations, it always points west, toward the ocean. Early explorers and native people used it as a natural compass. What's mind-blowing is that the tree doesn't resist the wind, it adapts to it, twisting and lowering itself to survive. In a way, the divi-divi is a living metaphor for Aruba itself. Resilient, shaped by nature, and unapologetically wild. Aruba's shoreline breathes. With underwater caves and hidden tunnels beneath. Aruba's rugged shores lie underwater lava tunnels and limestone caverns, many still unmapped. These passages were formed millions of years ago when the island rose from the sea. Some scuba divers have explored underwater caves that go miles deep, revealing ancient fossils, saltwater pools, and species of blind shrimp found nowhere else. It's said that parts of the shoreline breathe. As the tide rises and falls, air and mist are pushed through hidden vents in the cliffs. The soil has healing powers, literally in Aruba's inland countryside. Locals have long used a clay-like soil called caliche, a mineral-rich earth filled with calcium, magnesium, and iron, for natural healing. Passed down through generations, the clay is used to treat insect bites, rashes, and even joint pain. Modern spa retreats in Aruba now offer caliche body wraps as part of natural wellness therapy. But for many locals, it's not a luxury, it's a connection to the healing power of the land. Aruba was once the island of giants, mysterious megaliths and oral legends long before the Spanish or Dutch arrived. Aruba was home to the Quechua people, part of the Arawak-speaking nations. In their oral traditions, they speak of giants who once roamed the island, powerful beings who built stone altars and lifted boulders now scattered across the landscape. Archaeologists have found megalithic rock formations in places like Ayo and Kasabari, where massive granite boulders are stacked in ways that defy gravity. Were they ritual altars, natural formations, or something else? No one knows for sure, but they pulse with ancient energy. Aruba has an abandoned gold mine hidden in the hills during the 19th century gold rush. Aruba became a quiet hotspot for gold mining. The Bushiribana ruins are the skeletal remains of a once bustling gold smelter built in 1872. But here's the deeper story. Treasure hunters still believe undiscovered veins of gold lie buried in the hills nearby. Some locals even whisper of hidden tunnels and sealed shafts, never fully explored, possibly hiding remnants of the Dutch colonial gold boom. You can climb through the ruins today. What looks like a crumbling fortress is actually the bones of Aruba's gold-fevered past. The entire island breathes through wind. Aruba is a living air engine. Aruba is constantly reshaped by wind. The eastern trade winds blow year-round at an average of 15-20 miles per hour. These winds do more than cool the island. They shape sand dunes, bend trees, erode cliffs, and fuel the entire island's renewable energy sector. In fact, 20% of Aruba's power comes from wind turbines, with the goal of becoming 100% sustainable. Every breath of air across the island is part of a larger system that's turning Aruba into a global case study in eco-living. Aruba is one of the top shipwreck diving sites in the world. Below the calm surface of Aruba's coastline lies an underwater graveyard of shipwrecks, from World War II warships to smuggler vessels and sunken cargo ships. The most famous is the SS Antilla, a massive 400-foot German freighter scuttled by its own crew in 1940 to avoid seizure by the Dutch. Today, it lies off the coast of Malmo, almost perfectly preserved, and has become one of the largest and most accessible diveable wrecks in the Caribbean. Inside its rusted hull, marine life thrives. Moray eels, sea turtles, and even reef sharks make this ghost ship their home. Aruba has a natural pool hidden in volcanic rock, accessible only by foot or horseback. In a remote, windswept section of Arikok National Park lies the Aruba Natural Pool, formed by volcanic rock that creates a bowl-like swimming area filled with crystal-clear seawater. The pool is constantly refilled by ocean spray and crashing waves. Getting there isn't easy. You have to hike or ride horseback through miles of desert terrain, over rocks and narrow passes, but when you reach it, it's like entering a secret oasis carved by ancient gods. Locals call it Cura de Tortuga, Turtle's Cove, and say sea turtles once nested nearby. Aruba's aloe is so pure, NASA studied that Aruba's climate, dry, sunny, and salty, produces one of the world's most potent strains of aloe vera. The aloe grown on the island is so nutrient-rich that it was studied by NASA scientists in the 1980s as part of research into sustainable medicine for space travel. Aruba has its own aloe museum and factory, and many locals still use fresh aloe gel daily for everything from sunburn to digestion. Some say it's the reason many elderly Arubans live active, pain-free lives well into their 90s. Aruba's subterranean water system was built by prisoners, and still functions today. Fresh water was once Aruba's greatest scarcity. To survive, early settlers and colonists constructed underground cisterns and aqueducts, many of which were dug by indentured workers and prisoners under Dutch colonial rule. Some of these ancient systems, especially near Balasha, are still in use or have been repurposed into modern desalination infrastructure. Aruba now runs one of the most advanced seawater desalination plants in the world, producing drinkable water so clean, it's exported to nearby islands. The island's oldest tree has witnessed over 800 years of history. Near the town of Santa Cruz stands a gnarled, massive divi-divi tree believed to be over 800 years old. Oral history says this tree served as a meeting place for tribal councils, then later as a signpost for runaway slaves and resistance fighters seeking refuge in the hills. Today, locals leave offerings at its roots, candles, stones, and feathers, as a way of honoring Aruba's ancestors and asking for guidance. It's not marked on many tourist maps, but to those who know, it's a spiritual landmark. In conclusion, Aruba is where the earth still whispers secrets. Aruba is more than a sun-drenched paradise. It's a living, breathing tapestry of ancient myths, elemental forces, and natural marvels that stretch far beyond the shoreline. From pink sands sculpted by microscopic sea creatures to wind-bent trees that point the way like nature's compass, this island tells a story that predates maps, borders, and time itself. Beneath the surface, there are sunken warships guarded by reef sharks. In the hills, ruins echo the gold-fevered dreams of past empires. And in hidden caves, the fingerprints of the first people still linger in stone. Aruba is not just a destination, it's a mystery wrapped in sunlight, whispered through trade winds, and kept alive in every rock, wave, and flame-colored sunset. Whether you're diving through shipwrecks, riding through desert trails to a secret pool, or standing before a tree older than your country, one thing becomes clear. Aruba is not just a place you visit. It's a place. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more upcoming videos.